So, I was just sat here, and the whole beach floor and sea floor here is just sand. It's just like dark sand. And I was just shoving my hands in the sand because it felt nice, and I felt like a rock. So I pulled it out, and it was this like piece of coral, I think dead coral, that as I was looking at it, I thought it was very beautiful. And also it kind of looks like it was made to be a pendant. So like you've got the hole, and you've got this little like slip at the top where a chain could like go through and hang like that. But I was also thinking that if you look at it in the right way, I reckon you could wrap silver wire through the hole and around the outside in a way to contour it so it looks like a heart, like an anatomical heart. And then you have one of the silver wire loops go over and then a chain through it, and then you could sit it low around your neck so that it kind of sits in the middle of your chest. Because the back is flat as well, but like slightly curved, but pretty much flat on one side, and then, you know, has bumps and stuff on the other side. So it would sit super well. I think it would sit super well like here, you know, like right there, right? Or a little higher, but like, yeah, it's kind of a crazy looking thing. And I was just debating whether to keep it or not, but I think I will. And then when I get somewhere, I'll find a jeweler and maybe try and make it into the pendant and wear it. Cause yeah, it's really nice. So that was it. Yeah, and staring at it whilst listening to this guitar music is a vibe. Hey guys, sorry about the weird lighting. My phone is down here shining the flashlight in my face because if I have it off, it's really dark and I don't know how this will come up. So, yeah, I just watched Captain Fantastic, which is a good movie, about a guy who raises his kids in like isolation, away from everything, and it made me think a lot about what I would want and how I would want to raise a family and whether it was right or wrong and blah blah blah. Lots and lots and lots of thoughts. So I might write some stuff down, maybe I'll talk about it, but just thought it was very interesting. Great movie, worth a watch. If you watch it, let me know what you think, or if you've seen it, let me know what you think. Yeah, a couple things. First thing, we had a long conversation today at the beach about society in general, how we feel, but a very long one about suicide, which I thought was very interesting, and the stigmatization around it or destigmatization of it, and whether or not going to war counts as suicide. Does suicide bombing count as suicide? Like kamikaze pilots count as suicide? Is assisted suicide suicide? You know, all that kind of stuff. Very, very interesting conversation, which again, maybe I'll write down my thoughts and more orderly talk about them on camera. But I tended to have a different opinion to the others. I was generally of the opinion that suicide should be completely destigmatized and seen as a product as a symptom of something else, and so we should remove the stigma around it, because suicide is very seldom, the way I see it, the problem. The problem is the poor mental health, or the structures, or the lead up, or whatever it is that causes that to be the resort that's taken, or the decision that's made. Anyway, a very interesting conversation. I should probably put a trigger. I don't really know. I'm not gonna put a trigger warning on my videos. Probably. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to sit in front of the camera and say some stuff. So, what else? Let me look at my suicide. Both on here. I feel like I haven't fully explored them, so maybe I'll keep them on this list. I have a weird one. Do you think if you're a baby, if you have a baby, and then they share lots of different breast milk from different mothers, does it make their immune system better? Or is the curation of one, aka their mother's milk, that can like adapt to their system better? But what if you have like wet nurses and the mother, and lots of different mothers feeding the baby? Would that be the best for their immune system, or whatever? I don't know. Sounds interesting to me. Maybe I'll do some research about it for no reason other than it sounding interesting to me. Yeah, and I'll let you know. Let me delete that. Yeah, I'll talk about my next places that I'm thinking of staying at, actually. So, I'm going to Johor. That's all definitely in. The dates are definitely in. I'm there from the 4th of October to the 28th of October. And then I have a week in KL until my flight. Well, I have a week in Malaysia still, and then my flight out of KL into Chiang Mai is on the 4th of November. I don't yet have a Workaway placement in Chiang Mai or in Thailand. I applied to one that was a very chill yoga retreat. Not a yoga retreat, it was like a farm, but very chill, and they do yoga and sing and hippie shit. But it seemed really, really cool and really nice, and a very like low-key thing. But they don't have space, unfortunately. So I reached out to a village where you just help out around the village and do random little bits and help with like marketing for the local crafts people, but also like cleaning and teaching the kids and all sorts of stuff. But they also were full, unfortunately, for the dates that I wanted to go. They said they really liked my profile, and if they had any cancellations, they would let me know. Or if I could do November, like late November into December, that would work for them. But unless I really move my flights around and maybe did like Laos and then Thailand or something, which I'll think about. I wanted to be in Laos in December because apparently there are places that do a cool like Christmas, New Year, Western-y, Eastern, fusion-y celebration thing, so that would be nice if I can find something there. And I do have some stuff saved from that was going on in Laos. And then Vietnam for their celebrations in January, February, I thought would be cool because they have Tet, which is their New Year celebrations. So I might do that. I wrote down the city, I can't remember what it is, in Vietnam that I would want to be around or nearby to. Around then, and then I don't know, Hong Kong, maybe Japan,
Korea. But I'm not sure. So anyway, with Thailand, the village didn't have space either. So I then reached out to a very eco elephant sanctuary, no contact elephant sanctuary that looked incredible. But they, by the looks of it, don't have any availability until next March. So the likelihood that they'll get back to me and say that they have a random spot in November is very unlikely. So I'll need to then find another place. So I'm not feeling worried about it. I've got like a month and a half still to find somewhere, and these places are getting back within a day and not confirming, but like they, could just as much as confirm. So I'm not too stressed about it. Yeah. I also worked out but I'll keep it posted. I also worked out my spend. So I thought it'd be interesting to keep a running tally on the videos as well of like my spend. So, my book is all the way over there. That has all my numbers in it. Okay. All right. I'll cut this now, and then next time you see me, I'll have my book. So give me a second. Okay. I'm back with my book. So, also I don't know if I want to do like sort of single diatribes about ethical and moral issues. It's not as exciting and fun to me to just talk about it at the camera rather than have a conversation. So maybe I'll, you heard what I said. If you want to chat about it, I'll debate you. And it'd be fun, and I would love to explain my position if you want to talk about it. But to be honest, I probably won't talk about it. Maybe I'll just bring up topics, say something little about them, and invite conversation. I also invite conversation about veganism and the morality of eating meat, if anyone wants to chat about that. Because, I'd be down to like keep questioning my position and challenging my position on that and where I land. So, 21 days, I've spent £1,215, which ends up being £58 per day, £57.88, which when I remove the cash that I didn't actually spend when I did that calculation, £55 per day. Which sounds pretty good, but is actually quite a lot for the amount of money that I'm trying to spend per day. However, so £55 per day. However, I did have to buy a new phone, and I did get stuck in KK, which were unexpected spends. So if you remove those expenses, it ends up at around £800 for the 21 days, which blah 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 calculation becomes around 33 to £35 per day, which is much better, but still not as good as I want it to be. What I want to aim for is £15 per day. So I worked that out in ringgits as well, which is 84 Malaysian ringgits, or 652 baht when I'm in Thailand. $20. So $20 a day, £15 per day. Very difficult, I wrote and underlined. So, and then I've written like 3 brackets. My main goal is £10 to £15 a day. My average that I would be okay with is £15 to £20 per day. And my maximum on an average day would be £25. Now, obviously I can spend more, but I would have to dip into savings in a way that I don't want to. And I think I can do it, especially in Southeast Asia. In a lot of Southeast Asia, I could do it. When I'm in the rainforest, I asked them how much they recommend, and they were like, if you're doing excursions into the city, blah, 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 they recommend 500 ringgits in cash. For how long I'm staying, which is a month, so let's just say it's 30 days. So what is 500 divided by 30? It's 1, 2, I don't know why I'm showing you this. It's about 16 to 17 ringgits per day, which is insane. That's well within my range. Like, insanely within my range. 500 ringgits for a month is crazy. So if that's what they recommend with excursions into the city, I don't think I'm spending fucking any money in the rainforest. So I think I'll be good. I think I'll be saving a lot. Which then lets me spend more when I go to different places, which is nice. So I think it's going to be good money-wise to the rainforest. But you know, I think I'm going to keep this up. Maybe in the description I'll put a running total of my spends. That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, is that interesting? I think it'd be interesting. 12, 15, 47. And then I'll put the daily as well. £57.88 per day. Yeah, I'll add it to the description. Keep a running tally. Because I think people would be interested in how much this shit actually costs. And this does not include the flight out. It does include internal flights. So this is all the flights I've taken. This is also all of the tours that I've done, all the food, accommodation that I've had to pay for myself, everything I've paid for. Apart from my out flight, which was around £800. But you can do that much cheaper. I just took a direct flight knowing I wasn't coming back. So, yeah, this is the per day from when I got here. So, yeah. I think that's probably enough for today. Sorry if it was a bit rambly, but yeah. I don't have an excuse. I just was feeling a bit rambly today. And lots to think about in terms of like one day how I would want to raise my kids and the values I would want to instill in them, and started to brain I think. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that. I'll write a note down about that, and maybe I'll talk about it another time. For now though, you're left with that money stuff, and I guess the hope that I am back tomorrow with something interesting to say as well for you to enjoy. So, yeah. Okay.